Society. Welcome to our May 3rd Monday presentation. We offer these a variety of history-related topics throughout the year, each month, January through October. These presentations are typically around an hour. It's going to be a little longer today for a couple of reasons. And so if we do understand if for some reason you may have to leave, that's not a problem. We won't hold it against you. Let's see, tonight we're very appreciative to have two guest presenters. Glen Leisure is involved with the volunteer group clearing and maintaining horse riding trails in the Vail Lake Resort area. And then we'll have Rosalinda del Castillo join us as Ramona Place Wolf. Now, before we get started with all that, I just wanted to mention, I would like to acknowledge a very special event that occurred in this room this past Saturday. Graduation party was held for Marcus Zarinelli that the Temecula Valley Historical Society Board of Directors were honored to attend. Who is Marcus Zarinelli? Well, Marcus is a young man who approached the society about 5 years ago, interested in lending a hand, took on a less than exciting research project and completed it efficiently and accurately. Marcus so impressed the board that he was awarded financial assistance through our scholarship program, chaired by Stacia Douche. We subsequently awarded a second scholarship to Marcus, who awarded our board by becoming the first Temecula Valley Historical Society scholarship recipient to complete his matriculation and earn his degree in history. Pretty cool. We were hoping tonight to have the opportunity to introduce to our audience our most recent scholarship recipient. His name is Nolan Faso. He's graduating from Chaparral High School, and Nolan has received a scholarship from us through the Temecula Valley Unified School District Dollars for Scholars program. And he actually, I heard tonight from Bonnie that he is actually pursuing his teaching credentials in history, so it's pretty neat. All right, so without further ado, once again, Glen Leisure is involved with a volunteer group clearing and maintaining horse riding trails in the Vail Lake Resort area. He's providing us with a short synopsis of work that he and others have done to preserve trails once traveled by the Butterfield Overland Stage line and frequented by Vail Cowboys. Please go.
My name is Glen Leisure, and I have Melanie Hewelson. We're both members of the Rancho California Horsemen's Association, and we started work a couple of years ago on developing the trails that used to be at the Vail Lake Resort. And we have prepared a map. And unfortunately, it didn't come up on the computer, but we've got a map here, and it shows, it's a little hard to see, but we got, up a little bit higher because you got clear. We've got trails within the campground, so this delineation actually here is a mountainous area where they have the bike, the mountain bike area, and then the campground area is in here in the green. So you've got camping in here, the campers come in, and then they've also got this area down here, which is the Arroyo Seco area. There's also camping down here. But you have a wash, Arroyo Seco wash, that goes all the way out to Vail Lake, which is here. Vail Lake also comes along this area. And then to raise it up just a little bit there. We've got trails that we've developed within the campground. So there's green lines for the beginner trails, which are mostly what we have. And there's a little bit of intermediate, but we don't have any advanced trails. And we've got about 3 hours of riding within this area here. And then we've also expanded out into this area, which isn't, we haven't got the delineation yet. I would say we probably have about 10 hours of riding. And so the way that it came about was we had an annual meeting back in January of 2020. And we invited Clint Bell, who is running the resort at the Campgrounds of America, the Temecula Vail Lake KOA. And he came and said that he has activities for the biking, he has activities for the campers, he has activities for the hikers, but there are no horse trails. This is 3 years ago. And so he invited our club to restore the trails so that we could bring horses out and add the equestrian activities to the recreational activities at the KOA. So we started in September of 2020, and we had a couple of riders, experienced riders from our horse club, go out to the Vail Lake, but there were so many trees in the way that they couldn't get there. They had to dismount and hand walk their horses under the tree limbs in order to get out there.
And
So
that's the picture he's showing right now.
yeah, that's the picture I have. This is the wall of tree limbs that you can't get through. So so after that, we realized, okay, we need to get together with Clint and figure out where these trails are going to be. And so that's how we decided, well, we'll keep them within the campground for now, and we'll have beginner trails and a little bit of intermediate, and it will give people a chance to get to the KOA, enjoy their horses without a lot of strenuous up and down. So we started that around October. We took a tour, and then between October of 2020 and April of 2021, we started doing the wash, a Roseco wash that goes from the campground out to Vail Lake. So we were able to get that done. We put together some crews of people in order to do that, and that worked pretty well. And then Melanie lives across from the campground, and she had ridden out there many years before, and when she found that someone in our group was starting to restore the trails out there, and she contacted me, and of course I found her to be extremely valuable because she knows where some of these old trails were. She had some old maps, aerial maps, showing where the trails used to be. And so that's when we started around April of 2021 to really go hardcore, getting these trails done. So between May of 2021 and currently, like I said, we've got about 3 hours of riding within the campground, and then we've got another at least 3 to 4 hours outside of the campground in the recreation area. So, and then since we've been doing that, because we know where the trails are, we've been leading trail rides for the Rancho California Horsemen's Association, and then there are other groups that have come in and they ask us to lead the ride so that they can learn where they are and how to go about it. So the trails that we did, the original plan was to make them last about a year. So you widen it enough so you can get one horse through and then hope that it lasts. But obviously with the rains that we've had this year, it's a challenge because we've had some trails wash out, and then we'll charge up there with shovels and then fill in the ruts and get them back going again. So most of the trails we have on the map are rideable now. So then the question is, okay, how do you take a horse up there and ride? So you need to have your own horse. They don't have a rental horse system up there. They used to, but they don't have it now. And a day ride works well. So you bring your horse up for the day. You pay an entry fee. It's $10 per rider, and you have to sign a waiver at the Campgrounds of America. You can do that at the guard station, or you can go online through the KOA website for Temecula Vail Lake, and you can sign up that way. You can get a day pass, and then you can also sign a waiver. So it's fairly easy. The map that we have shows some designated parking areas. Unfortunately, the area that we would like to park at, which is the old stables, which is across Vail, which is on Vail Oak Road, across the stream bed, that got washed out in January. So we're now parking within the campground, but if it's groups of maybe 10 to 12 trailers or less, then it's workable. But if you want to go up just like 2 or 3 trailers, there's plenty of parking for doing a day ride. So people have asked, well, what about overnight camping? KOA doesn't have a way to store your horse overnight, so you would have to bring in temporary fencing if you wanted to do overnight camping with a horse. But it could be done. And but most of the riding that's going on now is day rides. So that's pretty much it. We've got some pictures here. And so this is Gil Pankanon, one of our senior... Oh,
It's not up on there. So I'll just kind of walk around here.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is what he was showing. So you can talk to the first picture. You got this one?
Yeah, so that's Gil. So we've already seen that one. So
Okay.
I think you can go to the next one.
Next one, Vail Lake.
Yeah, so this is a picture of Vail Lake with water in it because we took that just recently. So the dam, was probably half or less full, and then now it's pretty much filled back up. We've had lots of water running down the streams.
Creek washed out area.
And then that's one of the trails that got washed out, and so we went back to with shovels. It probably took 2 hours to fix that trail, and so that worked out pretty well.
And
And
then
then
here's the
this
pretty.
next picture is Leo's ears. This is Melanie's horse, and
So I'm
we're
riding down the
coming
trail.
down one of the trails.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
hold that.
oh, okay, great.
It's on the camera. Can you stand back further?
Is that coming up? Not yet. Anyway,
Yeah, you can go through.
Okay.
we put up some markers so that it helps people find the trails, because we do want people to stay on the trails when they're riding. And so we found some old tree stakes and some horseshoes, painted the horseshoes yellow, and then we probably put in 40 of those stakes in the last month or two.
That's all the ones we have.
Did you have a tree stake?
Yeah, he's got a picture of that. I don't know what he's doing with it, but. Yeah, so you already got that one, I think. Okay. I don't know what you're going to do with it, but we can't get the display up on the computer.
So what we have found is that when you take your horses up there, especially if you've got horses that are riding in an arena, and it's stressful for them to be in an arena doing certain kinds of work on a regular basis. But if you take them up to Vail and you're walking on these trails and you get out into some open space, the horses really calm down. This has been really, really good for both of our horses. Going out there, and the mountain bikers stay on the other side of the resort. There's, it's peaceful. There's no traffic. There's very little noise. There is some interaction with the campers, but we've self-appointed ourselves as ambassadors, and usually we get a collection of kids, surrounding the horses as we go through, and it's been fun. It's been really good. So we've got future trails that we're working on. So we expect a big expansion in the next 2 years. So we'll have more than 10 hours of riding when we get finished. So we just have some mapping to do. We're going to use like all trails so that people can use their phones and their apps in order to see where these trails are. So, any questions?
Can you still ride up the canyon off the Temecula side and look to the dam, or is that closed off?
Yeah, we don't. I don't think you can do it. I don't think there's a way to get through. And then I think there's some permission issues. But there, it might be doable in the future. it would be a pretty long hike, you know, to get up there and do the riding at Vail. I mean, right now you can just get in your trailer. It takes, you know, 7 minutes from wine country to get up there. It's pretty simple. Plus they have a cafe and a bar.
And on the Friday through Sunday, you can call on your cell phone and they'll deliver daiquiris to you. So they've got a little daiquiri wagon that they'll go around. I don't drink, but I've seen other people ride. Not from horseback. There's been no weaving in the saddle so far.
So, yeah.
I used to go hiking there, and then we go to like Halloween things. And is that all still since KOA took over? Is that still?
Well, here, this is a problem with October, and they have campsites, you know, because they've got 400 campsites.
Oh.
They're reserved at least a year in advance for October, because that is the most popular month, and the place goes berserk. You've got golf carts decorated for Halloween. You've got campsites decorated for Halloween. I mean, even we are nervous about taking our horses up there at Halloween. We do it anyway, but it's pretty funny. It's worth visiting and seeing October because it is so wild up there.
Especially at night. They have everything all lit up and you can just walk around. But if you want to hike, you can just go in and park and hike. And you can use the horse trails, even if you want to, because you don't want to ride in the mountain bike area. Or like he said in the Arroyo Seco during the summer, you're in the shade. It's very nice. But the views that he showed from the lake, especially with it now being full, is just gorgeous. We've seen egrets, you know, flying in formation, going, and birds going down into there, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah. So we're big supporters of get up there, get involved in hiking or mountain biking or buy a horse. That would be great. Okay, so that's it.
Thank you to Glen Leisure for that information. Amazing all the things going on in this valley, isn't it? And all the opportunities we have out here to take advantage